Hey guys, I'm gonna tell you about the time where I got paralyzed. Okay, well, I'm still paralyzed, so I'm just gonna tell you when it all began. Okay, so, in 2013, when I was 10 years old, I got sick in about May of 2013. And it was like a virus. It had a lot of cold-like symptoms. I was very dizzy. It was very hard to walk, and yeah, so that, okay, so fast forward to like July 10th or whatever, my right thigh was tingly. My right thigh was tingly, and I thought it was asleep, and yeah, also I had like excruciating pains in my abdomen. And yeah, so that was really bad. And I was like a little hippie child and put peppermint oil in there because, you know, I thought it would feel better, but it didn't help. It didn't stop the paralysis from coming to me. It was just meant to be. I was just meant to be paralyzed. But anyways, I mean, my parents didn't really think anything bad of it because obviously they just agreed with me and thought my leg was going to sleep. And that was in like the morning. Then afternoon we went and got groceries, still was tingly when I got back in the evening, had a shower, went to bed, slept through the night somehow even though I was in horrible pain. And then, this is where it gets good. Okay, so I wake up, my right thigh is numb, completely numb. And it went all the way down to my toes, so I was walking around dragging my little right leg around, and my left leg was being so supportive and holding up all my body weight. So nice. Anyways, this might be too much information, but I had to pee so many times in a matter of like half hour. And this was at like 6 in the morning, so my mom was getting ready for work and she was probably quite confused. And yeah, so she was going to work, and anyway, she told my dad to take me to the hospital because clearly I was dragging my leg around. It was kind of weird, and kind of reminds me of the Fleetwood Mac song, Dragging. I don't even know what it's called, but anyways. Yeah, so my dad took me to the hospital as I'm sitting in the passenger seat, just crying my little eyes out in so much pain. My abdomen pain, 10 times worse. So my right leg, the thigh, went thigh to toe tingly. You know, started at the thigh, went down to the toe tingly. My left leg, exact opposite, toe up tingly. And by the time I got to the hospital, which is like 5 minutes away from my house, because, you know, I live in a small town. I mean, you don't know that, but yeah. I was completely numb. I could not walk, and so my dad had to carry me into the hospital. It seemed like a drama movie, because, you know, that's kind of how I remember it. It was very dramatic, traumatic, very scary. Very hard time in my life, honestly. So, yeah, he took me into the hospital, took them a really long time to help me. I was in a room, they finally wanted to get x-rays, and I swore to the nurse, I can't walk, I'm paralyzed, like, I can't feel my legs at all. You know what they do? They make me stand up, and no, I can't stand. I fall straight to the ground, and I kind of think they felt stupid, but that's okay. Anyways, they probably haven't seen anything like this in our little town. Once I was x-rayed and stuff, they realized they really can't help me there, so I went into the ambulance and we went to the city hospital, which is about an hour and a bit away, and my dad was following behind us. And my mom was with me, and we finally got to the hospital, and took a while to finally get in there and get diagnosed. And once I got there, it took a few days to get diagnosed. There were so many doctors, so many tests. had to get poked and prodded with a whole bunch of broken popsicle sticks to see if I could feel it. I had to get a hot and cold test to see if I could feel heat or, you know, cold, and then I had a vibration test, which I can feel vibration in my legs. And yeah, so they were thinking that I could have Guillain-Barré, I think MS, because I have a lot of similar symptoms, and I think they thought I had lupus and maybe Lyme disease because we went for vacation where ticks were really popping there. So yeah, I could have gotten bit by a tick, but also I had to get a whole bunch of MRIs and spinal taps. I got 2 spinal taps, and a spinal tap is where they take a needle into your spine and take out the spinal liquid and test that to see what could happen, what's roaming around in your spine. I've had to get so many vials of blood taken like every single day. Like when I'd wake up, they'd be like, surprise, my vials, and I'd be like, oh great. And anyways, I also had to get like this weird brain scan where they like got sticky stuff and put it in my hair attached to my brain, and I had to watch a fuzzy screen, and that one actually was kind of scary, not gonna lie. And yeah, so many tests that I can't even remember. But anyways, finally they diagnosed me with something called transverse myelitis, and it's very rare. It's where your it's an autoimmune disease, and it's where your immune system attacks itself. And when they tested my blood, my white blood cell count was dangerously low, like dangerously. So like, I'm sure if I went to the doctor and found that my white blood cell count was extremely low before, like when I was sick, I kind of think they could have caught this, but anyways, who knows. It doesn't matter anyways, because I'm fine. Yeah, so, and I had very, very bad spasticity, and transverse myelitis is rare enough to boot, but the spasticity levels that I had, where if I was anxious, my legs would have clonus and shake, and it would shake my entire body all the way to my head. And they see more higher spasticity levels in people who have cerebral palsy, but not transverse myelitis, so my case was very rare. And so after I think being a month in the main hospital, I went to a rehab hospital for a little bit in September, because I stayed till August, and then I went to the rehab hospital, and then I went back to the main hospital because my spasticity was really bad, so doctors thought that I was getting a reoccurrent episode of transverse myelitis, which can happen in some cases, but for me, I don't have that kind, thankfully. I'm very thankful for that, because in a way, it's similar to MS, so yeah. Then I went back to the rehab hospital until the end of November, I think. The end of November. And it taught me a lot of things, and I met some great people and some really nice doctors. And a couple years after that, my spasticity never went away, and it was blocking me from gaining independence, so like I really had to rely on other people to help me. And so I went to a neurosurgeon because everybody was suggesting I get a baclofen pump, which I didn't want to do because a baclofen pump is just, I don't think, in my opinion, the way to go, because I personally didn't want it placed inside of me and having to get it changed like every month or whatever. I wanted to go the more natural way. So yeah, we tried with the selective dorsal rhizotomy, which again is done mostly on people with cerebral palsy because of the spasticity, and it's where they cut muscles in your back or your legs or wherever, but mine was in my spine or my back. And it didn't work. The surgery did not work at all. I mean, it did for like a couple weeks maybe. And yeah, so in the summer after that was done, I got a myelotomy, and my doctor pretty much explained it was where, like, my doctor explained that it wasn't ever done anymore, and it was kind of a medieval technique, and it could be dangerous. But my doctor's very, very smart and very caring and kind, and it was a 10-hour long procedure, but I have no spasticity now, and it changed my life completely, and now I'm independent and I can do pretty much everything I never even thought I could. So yeah, it changed my life for the better. It was really great. And another part of gaining my independence was joining my basketball team, because everybody there is so supportive, and you meet other people who are disabled or able-bodied people who have disabled siblings or whatever, and everyone helps you and gives you tips and advice that you would never even think of or they didn't teach you in the hospital. So that was a really big part of like my healing process too. It was really great. And anyways, so that's how I became paralyzed. So if you have any suggestions for videos, then just let me know down below. I'll probably do them because I'm always looking for some good ideas. And I like doing a variety of videos on here, so yeah, just let me know. Thank you for watching. Bye.